Hi, I'm Nizzle Wizzle, and I have depression. I've been living with it for who knows how long at this point, but that doesn't matter. See, just because I'm depressed doesn't mean I'm always sad or feel lonely. Believe it or not, I can be happy too. I've had moments of joy, just like anyone else on the earth. So, let me explain how depression makes me feel. So, imagine that you're on top of a mountain and you're just so happy and excited to have finally made it to the top of the mountain. You take a step towards the edge to get a better look, and your climbing partner pushes you. You fall and hit the bottom of the valley, but you don't die. You're just stuck. Hurt that someone you went on an adventure with would just shove you off the edge like that. But you find the courage to climb back up. You finally get to the top and get close to the edge to look at what you've overcome. But then a gust of wind blows you and pushes you back down. Now you're sitting at the bottom of the valley with no one else to blame but yourself. So naturally you don't want to climb again because you're just gonna fall. But there's a voice inside your head that tells you to try one more time. So you do it anyways. On your way up, you meet someone who feels the same as you. They relate to you. They understand. They've fallen once before. So you decide to climb together. You finally make it to the top again with this person, but you both get too close to the edge again and wind up falling. This cycle, well, keeps on forever and ever, and eventually you want to die from the fall. But in your pack you have a letter from a loved one that tells you not to put your tools to waste, such as your ice pick and your rope. So you start putting in faith for one more climb, but your tools aren't going to last you forever. They'll get old and rusty and eventually break. Then you're stuck at the bottom with no hope and no tools to climb back up. So let me put this rather long analogy into words. You climbing the mountain is the pursuit of happiness. Your climbing partner is a loved one or a significant other who's betrayed you. The person you meet at the bottom is a friend who understands going through the same things as you and stays with you throughout the whole thing. The wind is just anything that's natural or otherwise not very specific, such as, stress, failure, those kinds of things. And your tools are your coping skills and family and loved ones that stand by you. The reason I chose these events in this order is because this is how my most recent journey has gone. I went on an adventure to the Peak of Happiness with someone, and I got to the top and they pushed me. I tried to climb, but I didn't want to. I couldn't. I couldn't believe that this person that I had invested in emotionally so much just threw me off the edge without even thinking. But I began to climb again. I got to the top. I was up there, and I tried to look over the edge and look at what I had overcome, but stress and other outside forces pushed me back down. And this was the point where I wanted to die from the fall. Without putting it too bluntly, I tried to help the fall, but was saved, thank the good Lord. But I began my ascent once again, and fell before I could make it to the top. It was me still just in pure disbelief that someone who I was so emotionally attached to would just push me off the side like that. But when I was down there, I met someone who was as low as I was, and they understood. They've been the only person I've really been in contact with for the last 5 days. Only person I've had a real conversation with. Now you're all caught up on my story, so I want to talk about how people perceive depression. People think having depression is just being sad and lonely all the time, but that's not true. Someone who's depressed can be happy, or have friends even. I have plenty of friends. I'm even in a band. But all it takes is one thing to set someone in a nosedive, whether it's bullying, losing a loved one, or even just fear of disappointing peers or family. I'm not here to say that depression is all good, because it's not by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just saying that it's not all horrible, and it's possible to be happy. It's just harder. And this might not be accurate for everyone, but from my experience it is. Granted, it might have been helped by having a counselor or pills or whatever, but my point is that it's possible. And if you're struggling as I am and was, I'd recommend seeing a counselor or seeing a doctor about it to try and get help, because life can and will be so much better. Even if it's just by 10% each day, it will get better. If you know anyone who has depression or feels suicidal, please show them this video and help them get the help they need and deserve.